Our brains are on a hunt. Every notification, every scroll, every pixel is designed to trigger a dopamine surge that lasts long enough to make us crave the next one. Neuroscientists call this the compulsion loop. It's the biological mechanism of addiction. But 1400 years ago, a different algorithm was introduced into the human mind, one designed not to enslave the brain, but to liberate it. It's not called mindfulness. It's not called biohacking. It's called Salah. For so long, we viewed the 5 daily prayers as a spiritual debt that must be paid. But what if we knew that modern neuroscience is just catching up to what the desert mystics intuitively knew? What if we knew that Salah isn't just a ritual, but a sophisticated neurocognitive protocol designed to physically restructure our gray matter? New research reveals that the specific timing, movements, and mental state of prayer trigger a unique synchronization of brainwaves that cannot be replicated by any other activity, not even sleep. This is the science of the divine pause, and this is the only thing that separates us from becoming digital zombies.
To understand the power of prayer, let's first understand its enemy, the default mode network, DMN. The DMN is a network of interacting brain regions that activate when we're not focused on the outside world. It's the center of mind-wandering, rumination, and ego. Left unchecked, the DMN is associated with anxiety, depression, and self-obsession. It's the voice in our heads that won't stop dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. In our hyper-connected world, the DMN is constantly overstimulated. We're stuck in a state of continuous partial attention. We're never fully turned off and never fully activated. This chronic low-level stress shrinks the hippocampus, the center of memory, and enlarges the amygdala, the center of fear. Essentially, modern life is shaping our brains to be reactive, fearful, and distracted. We're physically losing the hardware needed for peace. This is where the concept of pattern interruption comes into play. In behavioral psychology, pattern interruption is a technique for breaking habits or thought loops. Salah provides 5 mandatory and non-negotiable pattern interruptions that are perfectly timed to disrupt DMN dominance.
Here's the rub. The reptilian brain, the primitive basal ganglia, craves efficiency. It wants to keep doing what it's doing. Stopping work, conversation, or sleep to pray feels like an inconvenience. It feels like a loss of productivity. But wait, the data shows just the opposite. When we force a pause for prayer, we actually activate the task-positive network, TPN. The TPN and the DMN are negatively correlated. They cannot be active at the same time. By engaging in an intense, focused prayer ritual, we are essentially forcibly shutting down the DMN, unplugging the anxiety machine. And I think this isn't just a break, it's a neurological reset. Let's consider circadian time. The specific times of prayer, Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, are not arbitrary. They align with biological shifts in our circadian rhythms. Dawn, Fajr, occurs during the transition from high melatonin to elevated cortisol. Fajr prepares the brain for the day, reducing morning drowsiness. Dhuhr, noon, and Asr, afternoon, intercept the brain's natural decline in alertness. Maghrib, sunset, and Isha, night, regulate the transition back to melatonin production, signaling the body to relax. And when we ignore these natural rest periods, it leads to decision fatigue, where the quality of our choices declines as the day progresses. The conflict, then, is not between prayer and work, but rather between a brain that is depleted of energy and one that is systematically recharged. Let's delve deeper. Let's look at the mechanics of prayer itself, specifically sujood, prostration. When we bow our heads to the ground, something remarkable happens to our brain physiology. Gravity causes an increase in cerebral blood flow directly to the frontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making and personality. But it's not just blood flow. EEG studies of Muslim subjects performing prayer have shown a significant spike in alpha wave activity in the parietal and occipital regions. Alpha waves, 8 to 12 hertz, are the brain's signature of relaxed alertness. This is a state of flow. Even more remarkable is the presence of gamma waves. Gamma waves, greater than 30 hertz, are associated with peak cognitive function and high-level information synthesis. While meditation often produces alpha and theta waves, the complex motor verbal tasks of prayer can trigger synchronized gamma activity, indicating a heightened state of awareness, not inattention. Furthermore, the physical movements of bowing and prostration stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, its rest and digest mode. This results in a measurable decrease in blood pressure and cortisol levels. The Quran alludes to this stabilizing effect. Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest, Quran 13:28. We now know that this rest is a physiological reality, a dampening of the sympathetic nervous system's fight or flight response. Let's think of prayer as spaced repetition for our neural pathways. In learning theory, spaced repetition is the most effective way to encode long-term memories. By repeating affirmations of a higher power and attitudes of humility at regular intervals, we structurally strengthen the neural pathways of gratitude and resilience, and will actually strengthen our brains against despair.
The ultimate promise of neuroscience is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change itself. A single prayer is a change in state, but a lifetime of prayer is a change in nature. Practitioners of long-term focused prayer show increased cortical thickness in the prefrontal cortex. This means they have more physical processing power for emotional regulation. They are less likely to get angry, less likely to fear, and more likely to break. The 5 daily pauses are not a burden of time. They are an investment in our cognitive longevity. They are the only time of day when we are truly free from the dopamine loop, completely free from the DMN, and completely in tune with our biology. So the next time the call to prayer sounds, don't think of it as a distraction. Think of it as a lifeline. Our brains are being hounded by the chaos of the modern world. Prayer is our sanctuary. Disconnect to reconnect. The science is clear. The choice is yours. Logic and light are here. If this video is useful for you, don't forget to subscribe to this channel.